Hello learners! Alright, so we're gonna have module 5 of Practice and Progress by LG Alexander. Alright, so pay attention closely. Let's have, okay, our passage for this module is titled No Wrong Numbers. Please listen carefully. Mr. James Scott has a garage in Silbury, and now he has just bought another garage in Pinehurst. Pinehurst is only 5 miles from Silbury, but Mr. Scott cannot get a telephone for his new garage, so he has just bought 12 pigeons. Yesterday, a pigeon carried the first message from Pinehurst to Silbury. The bird covered the distance in 3 minutes. Up to now, Mr. Scott has sent a great many requests for spare parts and other urgent messages from one garage to the other. In this way, he has begun his own private telephone service. All right, it's your turn. Please read. Okay, so if you had the right timing and proper pausing and stopping, all right, then by this time you've finished reading the passage. All right, so good job on that. All right, so that if you manage to do that, yes, really great job. But if um, you read more than the allotted time I gave, meaning you have to practice more reading. All right, so maybe there's a problem with breathing or that your proper breathing, so where you have to breathe and pause and stop. Okay, you have to practice that because there's a proper way of pausing and so that you won't lose breathing, by the way, okay, while you're reading. All right, so you cannot just read, for example, 3 sentences in a row without breathing. All right, so you have to pause somewhere, probably uh, between the clauses. All right, or probably in a sentence, maybe in the middle of that sentence. All right, there's a way to actually cut. Okay, let's go to comprehension, pre-say or and composition. So I'm going to ask you the question and you have to answer according to the question. And then basically when you answer a question, you have to look at what tense is being used, because most likely in your answer, you're going to use the same tense. But don't forget the subject-verb agreement. It might change the number of the subject you have there so that it affects the form of your verb. Okay, so let's go to number 1. Let's try. Where has Mr. Scott opened his garage? Okay, in this case, by this time, you have to remember the passage that you just read. Okay, so because you're going to get the answer, of course, from that passage. All right, so what's your answer? Okay, Mr. Scott has opened his second garage in where? Is it Pinehurst or Silbury? Pinehurst, okay? Because in the passage it says there another garage in Pinehurst. So it means that it is the second garage. All right. Now, where is his first garage? Okay. So his first garage is in Silbury. All right. Okay, by the way, you have to use the simple present tense here because in the question it says here is, and plus you're talking of something that is a fact, so that means your answer should be in simple present tense. All right. How far away is Silbury? All right. Okay, you can simply say Silbury is 5 miles away. All right, so we're talking about how far is Silbury from Pinehurst. Okay, so or Silbury to Pinehurst, what is the distance? All right, so it is, or Silbury is 5 miles away. Or if you want to really have the complete thought, so you say Silbury is 5 miles away from Pinehurst. Okay, so that will be really, really complete. Although it is already complete when you say Silbury is 5 miles, because in the question it only says uh, how far away is Silbury. Okay. Now, number 3. Not number 4 rather. Can Mr. Scott get a telephone for his new garage? Okay, this time this is a yes or no question, so you can simply say with a short answer. Can you try? Okay. Your answer in questions like this, your answer can be yes or no, all right? But getting the information from the passage, then of course your answer is no, Mr. Scott, or no, not Mr. Scott, but no, he can't, all right? The short answer. Or you can also add information to your short answer with uh, no, he cannot get a telephone for his new garage. Okay? All right, next question. What has he bought? Okay, he has bought 12 pigeons. All right. Next question. In how many minutes does a pigeon carry a message from one garage to the other? So you start with a pigeon carries, subject verb agreement, a pigeon carries a message from one garage to the other in 3 minutes. Okay? Because according to the passage, it covers 3 minutes to deliver message, or to carry message rather, from one garage to the other. Okay? Okay, let's proceed to some more comprehension questions. All right, so some questions are probably overlapping the previous part. Okay, so let's try. Who has a garage in Silbury? Okay, so your answer is Mr. Scott, or Mr. James Scott has a garage in Silbury. All right. Where has he just bought another? All right. He has just bought another garage in Pinehurst. Or you can just simply say, without the word garage, you say he has just bought another in Pinehurst, because it's already understood. If it's a follow-up question, then you don't have to really say everything. All right. Next, how far is Pinehurst from Silbury? We're talking of the distance from Pinehurst to Silbury, or yeah, right, or vice versa. Okay, so Pinehurst is, how far was that again? Pinehurst is 5 miles from Silbury, okay? Or you can add emphatic word away from Silbury, all right? That's okay. All right. Next, can Mr. Scott get a telephone for his new garage? Okay, this is the same question previously. So you can answer yes, no, rather no, he can't. All right, very good. Is that why he's just bought some pigeons? You can say yes, it is, or yes, that's why. All right, very good. How many has he bought? So he has just bought, I'm sorry. Okay, he has just bought 12 pigeons. All right, or he has bought 12 pigeons. Next question. What happened yesterday? Okay. A pigeon carried a message from Pinehurst to Silbury. Was it like that? Yes. In 3 minutes. All right. Or without the 3 minutes, it's just an additional information, but in here the concern is the action that happened. All right. Number 8, did the bird cover the distance in 2 hours or 3 minutes? In this case, this is a choice question. This is not a yes no question, but it's a choice question. So you have to choose between 2 hours, in 2 hours, or 3 minutes. Okay. And it uses a simple past. Okay. So your answer is the bird covered. Okay. The bird covered the distance in 3 minutes. All right. Has Mr. Scott sent many messages from one garage to the other? This is a yes-no question. So you can simply answer, yes, he has. Or you want to be a little bit more complete or add more information to your answer, you can say, yes, he has sent many messages from one garage to the other. Okay, next question. What has he sent request for? All right, so you need object, all right, in your answer, because the question is what. Okay, so he has sent request for spare parts and other urgent messages. Okay, it's either spare parts or any urgent message from another garage. All right, what kind of messages do they carry? Sorry, the question number 11. Do pigeons take all his messages now? Your answer should be yes, they do. All right, because he has no other means of communication. All right, other than the pigeons. All right, next, what kind of messages do they carry? They carry messages. Okay. What kind of messages do they carry? They carry request for, okay, spare parts and other urgent messages. So it's a little bit similar to question number 10. Okay, let's go to next part. So talking points. So these are personal questions. So you may ask it according to or true to you. All right. So, or what your opinion about something. So, what do you have to do to get a telephone line in your country? Okay, so basically, actually, you have to prepare the requirements. Okay, all the requirements in order to get a telephone line. Okay, these days, actually, not just a telephone line, but an internet package, probably, for example, which has already a telephone line included. All right, so what are the requirements for application? We're referring to application for a telephone line or an internet line. So what are the requirements? Usually what I know are first are any government issued ID, identification card. Okay, let's say passport, because passport is the actually the most reliable identification card. Okay, and of course proof of billing address. Okay, so it's needed because of course where are they going to send the statement of account, like how much are you going to pay? All right, something like that. All right, so it needs a proof of billing address, normally those two. if there isn't any application fee. All right. And then number 3, have you got any wrong numbers on the phone lately or mobile phone lately? What else can go wrong when you use the phone? Okay, so for me, I personally actually experienced um, receiving a wrong call, by the way, from someone new. And also I experienced dialing the wrong number to someone, all right? So what else can go wrong with phone? Sometimes I experience sending a wrong message to someone. Like it happens, when, for example, I send message to my partner recently and we've been exchanging messages and suddenly somebody sent me a message, then it overlaps, then this I thought it was my partner, and then I sent a message to that person. Okay, that's very awkward. Sometimes it happened to me in a group chat, and then oh my god, I have to delete it immediately. Okay, what other ways of sending messages are there? Okay, so these days there are many ways, by the way. We have so many applications where you can use where you can correspond, all right? So for example, private messages in any mobile application, also text messaging, emails, okay, and sending letters through post. Actually, you can do that still nowadays. Okay, and let's go to the next part. Okay, this part, your teacher, so me as your teacher here, I'm gonna ask you to construct a question out of the given statement, and I'm going to give you a cue on how you start the question. For example, I will ask you if James has a garage in Silbury, then basically I'm asking you to construct a yes no question. All right, whereas if I'm going to give you a WH question as a cue, then you're going to use that WH questions being asked you to use. All right, so for example, if I say who, then who has a garage in Silbury? All right, let's have with number 1. I'm not going to read to you the statement, but you have to read it yourself silently, and then I'm going to cue what uh, what WH question or what kind of questions you're going to make. All right, so for number 1, use the question what. Okay, meaning in you're seeking or you're looking for an answer which is an object. Okay, so can you try? Okay, so your question should be, it should go like this: what has James Scott just bought? Okay, your answer should be another garage. Your answer should include another garage. Okay, next question. Where? All right, where is his new garage? Okay, next, how far? How far is Pinehurst from Silbury? Okay, next, how many? All right, so take note that in here you have his. That is the short for he has, not he is. Okay, it's present perfect here. So how many has he just bought? Okay, your answer should include 12 pigeons. All right, next question. Ask the question what with a given statement. Okay, so what do they carry, or what do pigeons carry? Next, first ask the question when. Okay, take note of the tense of the verb, which is carried. Okay, so meaning you have to use simple past. Okay, so your question should go, when did a pigeon carry base form, okay, the first message to Silbury? Your answer should include yesterday, all right? And then now ask with the question what, all right? Okay, so you just have to simply work it out from your previous question with when, all right? But this time, your answer should look for object since you're asking for what, okay? So you would say, what did a pigeon carry to Silbury yesterday? Your answer in that case would include the first message, okay? Now ask the question, how long? Okay, since your main verb here is simple past took, so your question should go, how long did it take, or how long did it take, all right, to send message from Silbury to Pinehurst, just to be complete. Or you can make it short according to what is being only asked is, how long did it take, all right? Okay, so that's it. So by now you already know how to construct sentences with the correct syntax in statement and in question, as well as how to use the tenses, present perfect and simple past. But we're going to go to the explanation about the key structure in this passage, which is about a grammar point about the simple past tense and the present perfect. All right, so by now, since this is a module, this is module 5, we've already discussed present perfect and simple past, all right, completely in the previous slides, previous modules. So, and now we've also discussed some similarities and differences between simple past tense and present perfect. Now we're going to concretize more points, all right, and what exactly is the difference and what are similarities here. Okay, so basically, as you can see, you have to study these sentences. Okay, pay close attention to the words in italics. Okay, so which words are this? Those words that are slanting. All right, so because they are expressions of time or time expressions. So for definite time, past time expressions like with the word last, okay, and with the word ago like this, you're going to use simple past. For example, I will read to you. I wrote to him last month. I bought this car last year. He came to see me this morning. I saw him 10 minutes ago. All right. Whereas in simple present tense, what has happened expresses what has happened or what has happened. There are no exact time reference in the past. Okay, so but there are also common expressions being used with present perfect tense, which are also italicized. Okay, so example, I'm going to read the example sentences. So the train has just left the station. So you have the expressions just. Okay, I've already seen the film. He has been abroad for 6 months. Have you ever met him before? I have never met him before. I have not finished work yet. There have been a great number of accidents lately. Up till now, he has won 5 times. All right, so you have the expressions in italicized, just, already, for 6 months, ever, before, never, yet, okay, lately, and then up till now. Okay, but take note, I've already explained in the previous module that with expressions just, already, and yet, the simple present, the present perfect tense and simple past are interchangeable, meaning you can use either simple present, present perfect tense or simple past tense using the expression just, already, and yet with no difference in meaning and both grammatical. All right. So, for example, in the first one, the train has just left yesterday. You can just say the train just left the station. Okay. So remove has, that will be okay. It will become simple past tense because again, simple past tense and present perfect tenses are interchangeable with expressions just, already, and yet. Again, just, already, and yet. Only in those cases where you can interchange present perfect tense and simple past tense. All right, is it clear? All right. Now, okay, so these are the explanations I already did. Okay, so again, let me emphasize. So a contrast is drawn between the simple past and the present perfect. So what were the contrast, or what was the contrast being shown? So using the exact time reference, you use simple past tense. But without the exact time references, you are going to use present perfect tense. And then there are expressions where you can use simple past and present perfect tenses interchangeably. So those are with expressions just, already, and yet. Okay. Next, note the exact time reference in the simple past. Okay, so you have the exact time reference example with the use of last, the word last. You say last month, last year, like that, last decade. Also, you have the expression this morning, you have the expression yesterday, and you have the expression ago. For example, 2 minutes ago, like that. Okay, so you have the example sentences here. I wrote to him last month. I bought this car last year. He came to see me this morning. Okay, next, note the absence of precise time references in the present perfect. Okay, so there's no exact time reference when you use the present perfect tense. Okay, example, I've already seen the film. Have you ever met him before? Up till now, he has won 5 times. Okay, let's go to the next part. Okay, so this is an exercise where you can do it right now. Okay, so give the correct form of the verbs in brackets. Do not refer to the passage until you finish the exercise. Okay. Mr. Scott or Mr. James Scott has a garage in Silbury, and now you can use simple past, or you can use present perfect tense. All right, so you can say he has just bought, or you can just simply say he just bought without putting anything on the first blank. Okay, another garage in Pinehurst. Pinehurst is only 5 miles from Silbury, but Mr. Scott cannot get a telephone for his new garage. So again, also you can use present perfect tense or simple past here. Okay, so you can say he has just bought, or simply you just put blank on the first blank, or leave it blank rather, the first blank. So you can say he just bought 12 pigeons. Yesterday a pigeon. So since you have the word yesterday, which is exact time reference, you're going to use simple past. Okay, so carried. All right, not has carried. Okay, but carried, because why? Again, you have the word yesterday. Okay, the first message from Pinehurst to Silbury. The bird covered, so since this is a follow-up to the first statement, so of course you're going to use simple past here. The bird covered the distance in 3 minutes. Okay, now you have the expression up to now, meaning you have to use present perfect. So up to now, Mr. Scott has sent a great many requests for spare parts and other urgent messages from one garage to the other. In this way, he has begun his own private telephone service. Okay, present perfect. Okay, now can you use a simple past tense here? Actually, yes, you can actually use also. Okay, he began a spelling in his own private telephone service. Okay, let's go to the next part. Part B, give the correct form of the verb in brackets. Okay, the first one is, you have the word yesterday, so what did you buy? Buy is in the base form. Up till now is used with present perfect, so up till now, he has never lent me anything. Number 3, you have the expression yet at the end because this is question. Okay, so again, what did I say? You can interchange present perfect or simple past tenses. All right, so you can say, have you burnt those old papers yet? Or you can say, did you burn those old papers yet? Next, you're talking about something that happened in the past here, so you're definitely going to use the simple past. So you say, he fought in Flanders in the First World War. Of course, First World War already happened, okay? Number 5, you have the expression already, so remember, you can use present perfect or simple past with already. So you can say, they have already left, or you can simply say, they already left without the have. All right, and next is with question when, by the way, you have to use simple past all the time, not with present perfect. It is impossible to use present perfect with the question when. Okay, so when did you lose your umbrella? Next, you have the expression last, and exactly you have last night here. So did you listen, all right, to the concert last night? And number 8, we have just won the match, okay, or we just won the match, since you can interchange present perfect and simple past tenses with the expression just. All right, so that's it. If you did very well, meaning you understood the lesson or the key structure in this passage or in this module. All right, now you will have pattern drills here, so you can just do it yourself. So doing the examples there, just like what we normally have in other modules. All right, so you have these ones, and number 3 and 4 as well. So you can do it by yourself. All right, and these are the special difficulties. All right, let's discuss. Okay, so these are words often confused or misused. Okay, in part A, we have the expressions with way. All right, in the way, what does it mean? Or example, let's have the example first. So you have 2 examples of sentences with in the way here. Okay, please move this chair, it's in the way. Okay, let me drink water first because my throat is drying. It's very important to actually hydrate, because if your throat sores already, it can cause trouble. Okay, so you can, our throat is a virus, cat's basin, so it catches virus easily if it's dry. Okay, and the next example is, do your work in the way I have shown you. So basically, it's the 2 sentences are showing different ways of use of in the way. In the first statement, please move this chair, it is in the way, meaning that that chair is actually blocking the way. So move it, okay? Do your work in the way I have shown you, meaning in this, the idea is, I have shown you how to do something, then follow it. Okay, that's the basic idea there. Okay, and on the way, all right, what does it mean? Let's see with the example. On the way to the station, I bought some cigarettes. So the situation is probably, well, I was driving, or maybe I was walking, okay, going to the station, I bought some cigarettes. So during that time, okay, I did the action of buying the cigarettes. Okay, so on the way. Okay, in this way, he saves old envelopes. In this way, he has collected a great many stamps. Meaning, through this, okay, so the method or the medium made him collect a great number of stamps, okay, in this way. By the way, have you seen Harry recently? So it's like you're talking about something and suddenly you shift to another topic, then you can use by the way, okay? In a way, it is an important bit. So like you are saying somehow, it means it's not really perfectly 100% in this example an important bit, but somehow meaning half probably. It's half important, half not important, something like that. The thought is something like that. Okay, let's have the word spare in part B. Okay, so note the following statements. I cannot spare the time, meaning I'm busy and I don't have time for another thing. So this time is only allotted for this time. Okay, I cannot spare the time because if I give time for another thing, it might cause trouble. It might compromise something. Okay, that's what it means. All right, I have no time to spare. It's a little bit similar to the first one when you say I have no time to spare, meaning all my time is taken. All right, so I cannot give you time for another thing. So it's basically actually the same as the first statement. I cannot buy spare parts for this car. Okay, meaning what are spare parts? Those are parts of your car that you need when they need fixing. For example, if there is something broken, then you need to buy the spare part for that broken part. Okay. Next, there is a spare room in this house, meaning there is an empty room which is not being used. Okay. Caligula spared the slave's life. Okay, meaning Caligula here did not kill the slave. All right, he saved the life of the slave. All right, if you know the story about Caligula. All right. Okay, so these are the explanation on the expressions or the what do you call this? The words that are often confused or misused. Okay, which I already explained by the way, so you can read them by yourself, go through it, and this it has definite explanation or definition for each of the expressions. All right, being used. And the second part is this one. Then you can do this exercise as your homework, okay? And this one as well.